And then I wanted to get your thoughts on Premier League predictions as well. So who's winning it, first of all, if I do quick fire?
Arsenal.
Arsenal.
City.
Yeah, well, both three also, okay. Top 4 in order. So obviously you've got the first one. Who else gets a top 4?
Arsenal, City, Liverpool, Spurs.
We've got Arsenal, City, probably Liverpool, then us.
Arsenal, City, Liverpool, then us.
Arsenal, City, Liverpool and us.
Yeah, the 3 going down.
Leicester, Southampton, Forest.
Forest, yeah.
Well, Leicester, Southampton, I think Everton. May fall a little bit.
Leicester, Southampton, Bournemouth.
Leicester, Everton, possibly Forest. I think Everton will go down, yeah.
And then overachieving team. Who do you expect to do punch above their weight a little bit?
Ipswich.
Ipswich, yeah?
Ipswich, yeah.
Yeah, they're playing 0-0 at the minute, and first half an hour, coming in, played fantastic so
Last
far.
time they played Liverpool, isn't it?
Ipswich, yeah.
I think Ipswich as well, yeah.
And who, opposite-wise of that, who's going to underachieve for their expectations?
Man United.
Man U,
Yeah, Man U. Yeah.
I'd say Man U as well, yeah.
I pray Man U. I really hope so.
So you've all seen Man U. We've got the advantage of seeing Man U. They're the only team that's played so far. They have won the top of the league. Not impress you?
No, well, it's like Ten Hag before the even game started, he was making excuses. So I think it's just going to be a continuous scraping points. I don't think they're going to be as big as they were. Game.
I think they're just a top 8, 9 side. That's all they are now. You know, that rate of thinking they should be in the Champions League, it's just a distant memory.
Yeah, do you think they're going to struggle with goals, or is it defence, or what do you reckon?
Probably both. There was loads of gaps in the team yesterday, and I just don't think they'll be able to cope with the defending in the fast pace.
Yeah, and then you said you wanted them to...
I don't want them to do anything, but when your goalkeeper gets man of the match and you win 1-0, it shows you that defence is very poor.
Yeah. And then Golden Boot winner, is this Haaland or is this someone else?
Nah, I think it was going to be Isak, to be fair.
Isak? Oh.
Isak, yeah.
Is this a bit of bias, or he's genuinely expecting him?
because
No,
like
because if he was fit last season, if we had a full season, he wasn't far behind Haaland.
He's expecting a full fit season. Now we haven't got played twice a week. Sort of thing.
praying.
Yeah, there's not so much pressure on, obviously with no Champions League, so we are not expecting but hoping.
Haaland. I think Haaland, yeah.
Isaac. Isaac.
And then we've seen in pre-season, Jacob Murphy's probably been the man of the pre-season. Are you expecting a big season from him, or what?
I tell you, it's a hit and miss really, because he's on his day he's a really good winger, but he's too inconsistent, I think. But when he does the job, he can be a really decent right winger. It's just if he can keep up the good performances.
Does he keep Almiron at the team for you?
I'd say so, yeah.
Yeah, definitely. 'Cause I think a lot of fans underrate him. You know, obviously he's a boyhood fan. You know what I mean? So whatever you get from Murphy's 110%. Never ever let you down. Might not have the best of games, but he never lets you down, and you need a team full of them.
I think he's got a point to prove. Push Almiron out of the team and make his place solidified.
Murphy will do all right. He's a cheeky chappy. I like the way he plays. He's good for the team. Yeah.
Right, absolutely perfect then. Thoughts on the opposition very quickly, Southampton as well. What are you expecting from today as well?
I don't think it's going to be an easy win. Like, they've obviously got Adam Armstrong, who's from here, and he usually gets a goal. But
Expecting him to do much in the Prem?
it's hard to say, because he can do well, but then he can go in of a drought of not scoring. So I hope he's doesn't have his shooting boots on the day, but I'm hoping for a Newcastle win.
Well, they've signed that Diaz, and they've also signed Cameron Archer, 2 strikers. So maybe they don't think that he can do the business in the Prem. You think?
I don't think. I think throughout the season, I think it will struggle. It weren't. I mean, I know obviously they got promoted, but it weren't fantastic last season. You know, so historically, I think they'll struggle.
Yeah, I mean, I was literally just in Germany a few days ago, and I bumped into a Sheffield United, Southampton fan, and they thought, nah, we're wrote off, we're not going to get in. Do you think that the gap's too big between the kind of bottom 3 now and the established Premier League clubs?
Yeah, I think the gap's getting way too big between the newly promoted teams and then the teams already in the Premier League. It's getting way too big at the minute.
Yeah. The team that comes up in the playoffs nearly always goes straight back down. There is a big gap, you know. Luckily, we're on the right side of that gap.
And then score prediction finally.
3-0.
3-1.
3-0.
3-0.
Right, there we go then, lads. Thank you very much. It's Northeast Updates.
One of the cups.
Yeah, and then Premier League. This is general Premier League prediction. So who have you got for winning it this season?
I have Arsenal. I don't think Man City have recruited particularly well in the last couple of years. Obviously, they put a lot of money in Gvardiol. You've got Nunez, who didn't quite hit the ground running, Calvin Phillips, who didn't quite hit the ground running, Oscar Bobb's now injured for a long time with a broken leg. So all of a sudden...
Alvarez as well.
Alvarez
so big
is
money,
gone.
so you'd expect maybe a replacement, an expensive replacement?
Yes,
maybe?
as it stands,
Yeah.
Arsenal, if Man City suddenly go and fix this problem, then I would probably go back to City. But I think probably Arsenal are just well put together. They're ready for that push. You need, 85, 90 points for a Premier League. I just think City might be due a wobble. It's Arsenal's year this year, really. They've got to just crack on with it, really.
Yeah, it is always one thing doing it before the transfer window shuts and one thing after, because then you know the lay of the land a little bit more. Who have you got for the rest of the top four? In order, if you can.
In order,
Number two would probably be Man City if you want that.
It's Arsenal, Man City. I've actually gone for Spurs third, which is a crazy shout. It's the top kind of 7 could be anywhere, really.
Solanke, is that why? Do you think he's the missing piece sort of thing?
Yeah, I think Postecoglou teams season 2 get better. I think they'll understand the system more. I think Maddison's unlikely to get injured for a long period again. Solanke in, they'll have a bit more umph. I think they need to tidy up set pieces, defensive set pieces. But again, it could be, if Chelsea click, they could be third. But I've gone for Spurs, but it depends what happens in the rest of the window, really, because it's still open. So.
And then number 4?
It was us.
Yeah.
I'll go with the heart. I'll go with us. I think we've got enough with no European competitions. As long as the fixtures don't get too hairy, we keep players fit. We keep the main players fit. Now, obviously, Osula's come in. I think that will help with Isak's minutes, even if Wilson's not available. There were games last year where we just needed Isak to come off on the 70th, 80th because he was done. We weren't able to do that. This year we will be able to do that, and I think we can manage people's minutes a lot better. We will have Hall and Livramento up to speed for the start of this season. They weren't last year, so that's effectively I don't want to say the cliche 2 new players, but it feels like it. I think we've got enough. We just need to keep everybody fit, make sure people haven't figured us out. Obviously, Eddie Howe's going to have to get creative with new ways to attack, and excited.
Bottom 3? Is this just an easy one? Is it the 3 that go up,
Great.
or any surprises?
I've got to remember who I've got now. I've got Southampton for 20th, which the away fans today won't be super happy
You're
about.
expecting an easy result today?
I do think we'll win today, yeah. I think they were the 14th most conceded goals in the Championship, and that doesn't bode well coming up to the Premier League, and they want to play with a lot of possession, so I worry for them. I do think they'll go straight back down. I think Leicester have got enough to stay up, just about. We'll see. I've got Ipswich to go back down in 19th. I can't remember who my 17th was, or 18th even.
There's a few that it could be, because you've got Everton, you've got Wolves that could possibly get dragged in. They've let a few players go.
Everton depends on a points deduction. They've looked poor in pre-season. Forest, I think, again, is Chris Wood going to be able to drag them through and be a top scorer again? I'll go with Forest, but again, it depends on Everton with points deductions. And again, Leicester, if it starts to fall apart within 8 weeks, they could be gone. So I'll go with Forest.
And then last one as well is the overachieving team and the underachieving team. So from where you would expect going into the season?
Overachieving, I kind of want to say West Ham, but I feel like that's rude to their fan base because they finished inside European places quite consistently recently. So is that overachieving? Probably not. I'd say Brighton, if they can get all these young ins to click, could shock a few people. A lot of people have got the mid-table, but if all of a sudden, if Gruda clicks, Minte, if it all works, they could maybe push top 7. So they're maybe the overachievers. Underachievers, Palace worry me a little bit. They need to replace people properly. It depends if obviously Gehi goes.
The 2 biggest players, arguably the 2 biggest players that they'll let leave if that happens.
100%. I think Palace were fantastic at the back end of last season. They were unplayable. I don't think they will have as much of a free ride this year. Obviously, a lot of people were kind of motoring towards the end of the season quite calmly. Whereas this time around, they will definitely plan for Palace's style. They're not going to get as many free hits as they think without Elise as well. So they're going to have to work a lot more for it. But Glasner's proven himself, so we'll see if he can sustain that this year.
Right, there we go. Thank you very much for your time, much appreciated. Big fan of the channel as well. I seen the big guy walking past 5 minutes ago. Yeah, and then Premier League predictions here for this bit. So who have you got us winning the Premier League this season?
Oh, you can never look past City, can you? So City, I'd say.
Yeah, it's City for me. Also, a lot of fans today, but yeah, for me, City, they're just too good. Top 4 in order if you can. So City's first.
Yeah, City's first. Arsenal doing what they do well, which is finishing second and not winning a trophy. Third place, Liverpool, I think. I think I'd
Let
love.
the new manager to hit the ground running then, because
Yeah,
obviously some might expect a little bit of.
Yeah, you're right. It's an unknown quantity, isn't it? I'll just say Liverpool because I haven't given it too much thought. Not Man United in the top four. Not Chelsea. Not Spurs. Go on, I'll say Newcastle United. Can I just say, if we're 7th, 6th, 5th, 4th, I'll be happy, right? Because it's about wages and all that type of stuff. Well, let's be optimistic. First day of the season, 4th. But if we finish 7th, it's fine by me.
Yeah, I mean 4th to 6th I've got. Anywhere sort of in that range wouldn't surprise you. Who have you got as number 5 and 6 then?
Oh, you'll see something like Spurs and Chelsea, I'd say. Yeah. Oh, Villa have got the Champions League. We know what that was like from last season, like all the total of the games and stuff like that. So I think they might slip a bit. Spurs will kick on. I think Ange will do well. Who knows what the heck Chelsea are going to do? And let's just say Man United, struggling to make the top 10.
Not impressed with them yesterday. I mean, it could have went either way, the match.
Jamie Carragher says it every time. What does a Man United team look like? What do they play like? You just don't know from one game to the next. There's no pattern of play there. They haven't got a style. They haven't got an identity. They're just lucky buggers, basically, when they get results.
And then bottom 3, who's getting relegated?
Ipswich. Forest, perhaps.
Forest, yeah.
Yeah, and we've got Saints today. I don't want to. They came straight up. It's often the teams that come straight up, isn't it? So Saints. Yeah.
And then who's going to overachieve this season as a Premier League team?
That's a great question. Who's going to overachieve? Brighton had a bit of an off season last year.
They've got no European distractions as well.
Yeah. I'd say Brighton because the European experience last year will have done them well as a team. I think they've changed manager as well, though, haven't they? So that's an unknown quantity. Let's just say Brighton. Yeah.
Underachieving team.
Palace, because the expectations are high after how they finished last year, and I don't. They're always like 10th or thereabouts, and I think that's where they'll be.
Would you have said that because obviously they've got the Gahey drama that's going on, so that's probably going to unsettle the back line a little bit. Elise went as well. They're two best players if it goes through.
Yeah, I mean they've got Eze as well, but you're right. Like with Elise going, with Gahey probably going, hopefully to us. You can't as a team lose those types of quality players and sort of keep progressing. So I think they'll underachieve. Yeah.
Right. Perfect. Thank you very much for your time. Enjoy the game.
Yeah.